Superman is the most well-known superhero of all time. He's considered the strongest superhero by many. He's gone up against many adversaries such as Doomsday, Darkseid, Brainiac, and obviously Lex Luthor. He's even gone up against other superheroes such as Batman. He's grown decades worth of fans, and some have gone as far as to call him the greatest superhero of all time. I'm here to argue that is not the case. In fact, I'm going to show why Superman is the worst superhero of all time. Now, let's look at a little bit of history for Superman. In 1938, when he first debuted in Action Comics, he was a very simplistic superhero. His main things were he could fly, or what they call leap over tall buildings in a single bound, run faster than a locomotive, had heat vision, and of course super strength, as we all know. And that seemed fine enough, but the thing is, he had a problem. He constantly kept being given powers, such as a major super sneeze where he destroys the solar system. That just is out of place. That makes no sense, and that clearly shows you're making up his powers as you go along. You did not truly think about how he should be or what he should have. Some powers he gained even include the ability to create miniature versions of himself, which is just outright silly, and the ability of telepathy to make people do whatever he wanted through their minds and whatnot. And that's more overpowered. That's just unnecessary. Now, the thing is, as the years went on, they realized, yes, he cannot have any of these crazy powers. He really is too overpowered. And they fixed that later on. They fixed these problems in the issues Crisis on Infinite Earths in 1985 to 1986, where they completely changed things that were wrong with Superman. He was more simplistic and he couldn't just keep making up superpowers on the spot. And from there it felt like, okay, he's fine, there's nothing truly wrong with him. But the thing is, even then he still started gaining more and more superpowers that were just overpowered. Like, he still had the ability to gain power from the sun. And that's an unlimited source of energy. And as we know, you're not going to get rid of the sun. So because he always has that unlimited source of power, you truly can never defeat him. Unless, like I said, you get rid of the sun. Now, there are sort of ways you probably could combat this if you had a superhero who can basically engulf Superman in like a bubble that is completely dark and he never can get out. And it also blocks out the outside world, including the sun. But I don't think there are any supervillains that have that ability, and if there are, then that seems like something that should have happened by now. Another problem with Superman being weak to magic is he's already so very fast, he could just go after the conjurer of the magic and take them down before they can weave their spells. So basically, there's no real problem with magic anymore. He's too fast for the magician. Now let's get into more of the meat and potatoes of why Superman just doesn't work as a good superhero. His strength. He is known as the strongest superhero in all of the known universe. And he's proven that time and time again, lifting objects that easily would crush anyone. But the thing is, because he's this strong, that means no one really compares to him. There's no one that's as strong. Doomsday is known as the guy who can kill him. But the thing is, he hasn't exactly succeeded. In Superman Doomsday, him and Superman fight, and of course, Superman does the ultimate sacrifice to kill Doomsday. And everyone believes Superman is officially dead. And it's sad, it is. But the thing is, by the end of it, you come to find out Superman didn't actually die. He was actually just beaten within an inch of his life.
I'm alive?
It would seem that on this world, the laws of human death do not apply to you, Kal-El. I only came to realize it 17 days after your apparent demise, when I was alerted to a single pulse of your biorhythmic signature.
So my vitals slowed to a crawl.
To better enable you to heal.
That doesn't work. That means he basically couldn't even die from his own attack. An attack he used that was meant to basically sacrifice himself. Even he could survive it. That really doesn't work. That means someone who's just about as strong as he is wouldn't be able to kill him. And also because he's this strong, you also kind of remove any sense of relatability. Because now no one can ever aspire to be that strong that you can never even kill yourself even. We know that's not possible. We know we can't do that. Everyone's got to be able to hurt themselves in some way, shape, or form. And because Superman basically can do all this and almost sacrifice himself but still not kill himself, it loses relatability now. Let's get into more of his other powers, like his heat vision. That is something we thought was a simplistic thing. You know, having laser beams come from your eyes and burn you. It's like, okay, that's fine. Here's the thing. Even his heat vision is overpowered. The thing about his heat vision is we thought simply he just has heat vision. It can melt stuff, it can burn people, and that's it. Well, here's the thing. He can actually expand it, making it even bigger than what it normally is. And that sounds okay, but then you realize that it actually can go as far as what he can see. So basically, if he flies out into space and looks at the Earth from afar and shoots his laser vision, it's gonna be the size of the Earth. His laser vision will be just as big as the Earth and destroy the entire planet. That's too much. That is way too much. To be able for someone to just destroy the planet by just looking at it, basically. And then another thing is, he can shrink his laser vision down to microscopic size and even perform lobotomies on people.
Why can't I feel my power?
I scanned your brain for abnormalities. And when I found one, I cut it out.
What?
Heat vision. Focus through your pupils like a scalpel. Instant lobotomy.
That's even more crazy because the way he does it, you don't even see it happen. He can do it with you just looking at him, and you won't know that you just got lobotomized until it's too late, basically. That as well is just too much. Because he has these abilities, he's basically unstoppable. He can blow up an entire planet if he feels like it. He can lobotomize any human being or being in general if he feels like it, and there's nothing you really can do about it. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, what about Kryptonite? There's always Kryptonite, you can weaken him with that. Here's another problem. He's powered through Kryptonite on multiple occasions. Sometimes he'll just wear his Kryptonite-proof suit. And the way around that is simple. Get some acid and burn it off of him. But the thing is, there's also the fact that he's managed to be shot in the chest with a Kryptonite bullet. A bullet that basically can stop him dead. Because it weakens him. He's now mortal. But the thing is, he's managed to survive long periods of time with the bullet still lodged in his heart. He still somehow managed to survive that. Also, take in mind, this is happening at night. So he basically can't get any power from the sun. He's stuck on the ground. The sun is gone. And he's got a kryptonite bullet in his heart. So he can't regenerate at all. And so basically, he's basically unkillable. The one thing that could be able to stop him, he just powers through it long enough to be able to get the bullet out. Now, let's talk about his super speed, because that also makes him very overpowered. Basically, he can move at the speed of light. There was one part where he was basically across the universe, and somehow he managed to get to Earth within like a second.
One day, Superman was hanging out near Vega, the brightest star in the Lyra constellation.
For the record, that's 25 light years from Earth, or 147 trillion miles.
Naturally, a crisis occurred on Earth, so Superman's photographer buddy Jimmy activated his signal watch, calling for Superman's aid. And Superman arrived in a matter of minutes!
Because he's that fast, you basically remove any sense of urgency. Like, there's never gonna be a ticking time bomb anymore because, well, Superman's just fast enough to be there within seconds. So basically, it doesn't matter what you do. If you have it where he has to be in 2 places at once, he basically can. So now, because Superman basically is the fastest man alive and the strongest man alive, that basically says he is unbeatable. There's nothing that can take him down. He's too strong, he's too fast, he's too powerful. So basically, why he fails as a character is he just is not relatable. Superman's powers don't come from him training to become stronger. It mainly comes from the fact that he just has to believe he's strong enough to have these powers and he'll have it. So ultimately, there's nothing to relate to that. There's nothing to aspire to, because Superman, all he did was just remember he has the ability to do this thing, and that's it. Other heroes like Batman, he had to train to become like that. Now, granted, he also has military-grade weaponry that no one can afford, but he also has his wits about him, so if you took all that military-grade stuff away from him, he'd still be pretty powerful to be able to beat. And that's not because he was born that way. No, he trained to become like that. Other characters like Goku, for instance, didn't start off the strongest, definitely stronger than normal, but still not the strongest, could be beaten by normal people even. But he actually trained very hard to be able to get as powerful as he is. And a more recent character is Saitama from One Punch Man. He's very powerful, possibly more powerful than Superman. For all we know, we don't know too much about him. But the thing is, he's still relatable because he had to train to be able to get as strong as he is, to be able to defeat any enemy with just one single punch. That's still relatable because the way he got to that strength was doing basically basic exercises such as 100 push-ups a day, 100 sit-ups a day, running for 100 miles or so every single day for 3 whole years. He trained to get that way. It wasn't just he was just strong right from the get-go. No, he really had to work hard. And that's the thing. Because of that, we can easily relate to him. We all train and exercise and do all this to be able to get stronger. Whereas with Superman, he just is strong. There's no big relatability to him. He's someone who basically can always save the day. Hell, to quote frickin' Futurama,
there was never any real peril.
Superman is just the hero that no one can ever hope to be or even try to aspire to be. Batman, Spider-Man, Goku, Saitama, Green Arrow, Daredevil, those are heroes you can look up to, people you can relate to on a personal level because they have real issues that many of us, go through. We do want to become stronger to be able to protect the ones we love or to be able to protect ourselves and whatnot. Whereas with Superman, he already is as strong. He's the person you never can be, no matter what you do. So basically, that is why he is the worst superhero of all time.